Hi everyone, Messy Coder back again with another live dev interview, this time with Amplify Creations, the creators of Amplify Shader and Amplify Imposter. Amazing assets that blew my mind away when I interviewed them on my live Twitch stream, allthews.twitch.tv/themessycoder, where you can catch me every Fridays and Saturdays talking with amazing people like these, checking out fun assets and making games as well. So sit back, enjoy, and I'll see you all in a second. These are these are the boys of Amplify Creations who make the Amplify Shader, Amplify Imposter, Amplify everything. You put the word Amplify in front of it, these guys make it. Yep. Give a warm, messy welcome. Welcome to the stream, buddy.
Thank you. So for those who recognize my voice, it's because I'm also responsible for a lot of the educational content we put up on our YouTube channel. So it's probably from there. But yeah, my name is Ricardo Teixeira, and I'm responsible for developer relations at Amplify Creations. And I'm also one of the producers on Decay of Logos, which is our first game, actually. But being a small team, we all have to wear different hats. So we end up doing a lot more stuff, like the educational and promotional stuff. Yes, so the asset store is actually our main funding source for the game. We're developers at heart, so it's been one of our objectives since we first started with just 2 products to actually start creating our own games. And it's really thanks to the asset store that we're able to hire additional people to work exclusively on the game. Have you actually had a chance to check out the game?
I have not had a chance to eat.
Oh, no problem. I can actually link it to you.
Please do.
So yeah, it's a game made by 4 people, and we've been working on it for a couple of years now, and it's going to be available during the first quarter of this year. So hopefully very soon.
Oh, awesome. I got looking at it. Hang on, let me put some sound in.
Yeah, so it's an action-adventure RPG with emphasis on player exploration. So for people that like a good challenge and a good adventure game, I think you'll have fun with this one.
It looks beautiful.
Oh, thanks. And of course, it uses all our products.
I was about to say.
Yeah, all of them.
So this is a massive advert for your Amplify products.
In a way, yes. But luckily we have a big community, so we've had the chance to see our products used in games like Firewatch, The Amazing Night in the Woods, or even The Forest, and so many other games that it's almost hard to keep track.
I think it's, if the game was made of Unity, one of your assets is going to be in there somewhere in some shape or another.
Yeah, it's really amazing when we find out, because unfortunately we don't know many of our customers, but when we see a game, we do take some time to check it out and see if it actually uses something made by us, and it's always surprising when we find it there.
So I didn't actually know that the Forest was using your stuff.
You know what? They're probably not using it right now. I'm not sure, but a couple of versions ago, and probably a couple of years ago, they were using it. We've been doing this for such a long time that some of the games that were using our products have actually completely changed how they were built. For example, the transition to PBR. We've been doing this since the early stages of Unity 4, so it's been a while.
When that didn't even exist as a word.
Yeah.
We got a question. Are your assets too heavy on performance for VR?
Depends on the assets, but performance is one of our main concerns. So you should be all right.
Are there any VR projects that you remember that are using your stuff?
Yeah, actually, our Amplify Bloom, our Bloom solution called Amplify Bloom, which was actually an award-nominated product a couple of years back. It's used in Space Pirates, which is actually an awesome VR game. Let me just, I can actually link it to you.
Yeah, please.
Just 1 second.
I've just loaded up. I've put into a clean 2018.2.18 Unity, so not 2018.3, because I just didn't want to break anything, just in case, because I've seen that already today, that I've managed to break a few things using 2018.
Oh, that's all right.
We've got two projects I've imported, or two assets, the imposters and the shader. So when I go into the examples folder of the shader, I see two things.
Yeah,
HD and Elder.
I wouldn't recommend doing that right now.
Yeah, I was going to say, because I've always had a problem whenever I've done anything with HD.
Yeah, so HD was, well, the whole scriptable rendering pipeline was something that we had to really, focus to adapt. But we now support HD and the lightweight pipeline. So we kind of try to make it easier to use. So provided that your project is actually working with HD, you only have to import a couple of packs that we include, and creating shaders is just as creating standard shaders. So it shouldn't be a problem unless HD is not working.
I've never got HD to work properly.
Yeah, it's a bit hit and miss. I find that it's best to sometimes go one version behind.
Yeah.
The latest is always a bit hit and miss, I guess.
Have you been tempted to, because I've seen that you've got one of your assets, the LUT pack, is over on the Unreal store.
Yes.
Have you guys not been tempted yet to dip your toes in the waters of other engines?
Yeah, definitely. It has crossed our mind, but the Unity community is so unique and has treated us so well in the last couple of years that we currently don't really see us fitting into the Unreal community. And I think there's there's different type of products that you can develop, and the Unity platform is perfect for the editor extensions that we create. For example, Unreal has had its shader editor for years, but only now Unreal is making an effort to provide their own solution. And not even that, but there's a lot of open areas that you are able to explore since Unity is open to these type of tools, and Unreal not so much.
Have you tried CryEngine?
We've tried it a couple of years back, but nothing professionally. It's an interesting system. Yeah,
it's like it's too dangerous to get into now because you don't know how long it's going to be around for, what's going to happen with it. But then you've got these other ones like the Amazon, or that noise.
The Lumberyard.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of choice out there, but I think the Unity Asset Store really plays a big part here when you're choosing your own engine. I mean, you could choose the Lumberyard one, and it might be a good engine, but you're not going to have the same support and the same ecosystem you have with the Unity community, which is a very active community, as you may know.
I don't think I could find a better community than the Unity one, seeing as I've got a chat full of Unity community members.
I think it's not impossible, but I think it's pretty good here, and it keeps growing, which is excellent.
Yeah. What shall I do to get started?
One of the things we try to do with Amplify Shader Editor is provide you with enough examples to get you started. So if you go to the examples folder, there's actually over 60 sample shaders that you can use to construct your own assets.
What do I do? Go to this download.
Go to the official folder. Let me just maximize my windows. So
I've got you on Discord. I'm sharing my screen with you. Makes it easier for you.
Where's that?
On the Discord. If you go
strange. I don't see the screen. I can see the chat window, but not the screen.
No, that is weird.
Where's it supposed to be?
Above the chat thing.
No, just your name.
Oh, stop sharing and start it again. That is weird.
Uh-oh.
How about now?
Nope. I mean, I can try to follow the Twitch channel. It's got a bit of a delay, right?
That is weird. Not seen that before. Technology, ladies and gentlemen. Technology at its finest.
For Sand on the chat room, it's actually Space Pirate Trainer. Sorry, I got the name wrong the first time.
Oh, what's it called?
Space Pirate Trainer. The VR game.
Okay. All right. So, are you able to see? After creating the shader in Amplify, how do you share it with someone who does not have Amplify? Ooh.
So yeah, you can just share the actual shader. I mean, the final asset that's generated is just as a standard shader, so you don't need the editor to run it.
So is there any licensing issues with that though?
No, not at all. You actually own everything you create, so you can distribute it as you see fit. You can sell it, you can give it away for free. As long as you don't include our editor, it's all acceptable.
Ooh.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really?
Yeah, we want you to use it. And there's
that's
actually a lot of packages on. Sorry, I cut you off there.
Yeah,
there's actually a lot of.
Tell me.
A lot of packages on the asset store that are made with Amplify Shader Editor.
Yeah, I thought that they must have done some kind of weird deal that they pay or.
Oh no, not at all. It's completely open in that sense.
Oh, that's awesome. Because I need some.
Yes.
I tried to do some shader stuff and I suck terribly, really badly. Like with Muck, with my asset that I'm making now, I'm having to alter existing shaders so that I can have people's models that have got clothes and skin, and just customize it so that I can have the skin change color and not affect the clothes and blah blah blah. And I'm doing that manually and making little cutouts and things, and it's a pain in the bum to do it, especially when I keep breaking it. And I've got amazing people like our freelance who's helping me out making amazing stuff. And I was thinking I really need something like Amplify Shader to be able to do it, but I want to be able to include it in my pack. And I thought I wouldn't be able to.
But you can.
That's amazing. That's awesome.
Awesome.
How do I do it then? Show me. Teach me, Obi-Wan.
Oh, it's actually very simple. So do you want to open an existing shader? Perhaps.
Yes.
There's one in the beginning of the list called burning effect or
burn.
Animated fire.
Yep.
Yeah.
Burn. Okay.
The animated fire one.
Oh,
so yeah, it's the first one.
Okay. Cool.
Sorry, I'm seeing the Twitch stream with a bit of lag. No, sorry, it's not that one. I'm seeing the bird one. Yeah, animated fire.
Which one do you want?
Yeah. So if you double click the material, it will actually open the Amplify Shader Editor window.
Ooh, let me dock
so
everyone at home can see it.
Did it open on another screen or something?
Yeah, no, you should be able to see it in the middle.
Oh, there we are. So you can hide the right tab, so you don't need to search anything.
Okay. How do
you can just click the minus sign on top of search. Yeah. So There's actually two modes in which you can work in Amplify Shader Editor. There's the material mode and the shader mode. In the shader mode, if you create a new asset, a new shader, and just edit that, you won't affect the materials that use it. But in material mode, you can actually set up your material properties and edit the shader at the same time. So it's just to give you a little bit of flexibility when you're creating your own shaders. And if you notice above the material, there's the actual shader file, and that's all you need to share with another user to give him the shader.
You just...
So yeah, go for it.
I was going to say, how long has this been out? And I feel like an idiot that I'm only now just seeing this.
Oh, it's been out for a while actually. We won Best Tool at the Asset Store last year. Sorry, in 2017, which was or 2018. Memory fails me. But yeah, it's been out for quite some time now, and we've been iterating on our base version and just adding new features and adding SRP support, adding shader function support. There's so much stuff in here, but at the same time, we try to keep it as simple as possible. So someone with absolutely no experience could just start creating their shaders. That's why we offer a beginner series on our YouTube channel to get you started, and a couple of other tutorials, of course. Have you ever used the shader editor at all?
No.
No?
As I say, I've edited, well, in like, you know, in text that I've sat there and edited.
No problem.
A shader, but I've been, I don't know what I'm doing as I'm typing stuff, and then I go, oh, well, that worked, and it purely by luck.
Yeah. Well, the cool thing about a shader editor is that you can experiment without running into code errors, which is pretty great, I think, especially when you're trying out stuff. One of the first things you want to do is actually select the type of shader you want to use. So if you just click on anywhere on the screen and go to on the grid, so it deselects the node.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then go to General on the top left.
Yep.
So, sorry, the lag is really throwing me off.
It's weird that
I can't see what you're doing.
In the
yeah,
Discord,
that's really strange. So yeah, I was going to say in the General tab, you actually have a shader type that you can select. So by default, we give you surface shaders. Yeah, which basically emulates what Unity offers you.
I need to change my set. So we just got some questions in chat.
Oh, sorry, go for it.
So how do you market your assets on Unity?
How do you market your assets? I think personally, it's all about reaching out to your community. One of the things we kind of started to do when we first began developing products was talking with people directly. I mean, it might sound obvious, but having a public forum and a place where you can reach out directly to your users, and your users can reach out to you, makes a whole lot of difference. And we're very active in the Unity forums, and even have our own forums with hundreds of users, which is pretty amazing.
Well, you just led to the next question. I was asking, how do you deal with support?
Yeah, so that's also one of the things we kind of learned early on, that your developers shouldn't be doing support full time. What I mean by that is you have so many requests that if you want to give quick replies to everyone, you're going to have to hire someone specifically for support. And that's exactly what we did. Even though we're a very small team, we actually have 2 people dedicated to mostly support. So there's always someone available to help one of our users. And I think that has really made a difference. And you can see that by our reviews, for example. Most of them mention support, and we're really happy to see that. It's great knowing we got to help people.
That's I've spoken with a couple of asset developers who've got more than one large asset, and every single one of them who started off by themselves in the bedroom, I said ever since they've got someone working with them doing support, they're so happier.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's great supporting people, and our developers actually jump into the forums and help people out. But it's really great having an additional hand when it comes to support. And not even that, but taking care to actually implement a simple ticket system so you can keep track of everything. I think it's really important, especially
Oh,
when
yeah.
you have thousands of licensed customers. Yeah,
I'm so
it's
glad you said
really.
that because I was going to ask you what ticketing system if you use one.
Yeah, we actually use Jira from Atlassian,
Hmm.
and we use Bitbucket for everything else.
So you keep it within their suite of tools.
Yeah, we also use a lot of things like Trello and Slack to keep in touch and keep small lists of tasks. It's quite useful actually.
I started to hate Slack the more that I use Discord. I find the more that I'm using Discord, the harder it is for me to get back into using Slack.
Yeah, the thing with Slack, we've also discussed using Discord, but the thing with Slack is that you can actually have your own extensions.
Yeah.
So, for example, we can have updates from Jira or any other type of notifications, and that's actually something that Discord does not support. For us, it's kind of a deal breaker, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
We got a question. Is it possible
Yeah.
to update existing standard shader in Amplify 2? So what you can
What do you
use
mean?
a standard shader using the Amplify tool? Is that what you mean by Sanyo?
So you can only open Amplify created shaders with the editor.
You can't take an existing shader and extend upon it.
No, I'm afraid not. However, we do offer a template system which allows you to develop your own shader types. So, for example, if you have already something made up, you can actually add specific tags to it and possibly adapt it to work with our shader editor.
Is this like Substance Designer? And if so, what's the difference?
Not quite like Substance Designer, in the sense that Substance Designer generates actual textures, and what we're doing here is generating shaders. So the shaders can actually use the Substance generated textures. So it's the thinking behind it using a node-based system is fairly similar, and that kind of gives you the impression that it's the same thing, but we're actually just generating the shader. But we do support Substance, which is one of our favorite features, actually. You can just drag and drop a Substance into the Amplify shader editor window, and it works automatically.
So I've got loads of substances. I don't know what to do
Yeah.
with them. Now I've got somewhere to stick them. We got a question: shader graph versus Amplify.
Yeah, that's a question we get a lot. But yeah, well, they're kind of different, so to speak. How should I put it? So the shader graph edition the shader graph was an expected addition, but we kind of have a different development path in the sense that we can really quickly iterate our product and shape it depending on what our community needs. So if there's something critical that you guys need, we can really move to implement that quickly. And in terms of features, we offer a lot of different stuff. For example, our template system that I mentioned earlier allows you to develop your own shader types. So if you want to extend what we already offer and really develop something custom, you can do that with our editor.
That's it. I need to watch those toys you've got.
Yeah. We also offer a lot of cool tools, a lot of cool features like shader functions, for example. Shader functions allow you to take entire node networks and collapse them, so to speak, into a single node that you can actually use in other shaders. And I can give you an example. For example, that shader you're editing, the animated fire, if you go to the other folder below called animated fire shader function, you can see the difference between the two shaders. There's on the left, there's the animated fire and the animated fire shader function folder. Yeah. So if you just double click that,
that one now.
So yeah, that's exactly the same shader, but what we've done is take the existing burning effect and created a shader function, which is the orange node there.
Yeah.
And you can actually just take that node and place it on another shader, and just like that, you added the burn effect without having to recreate the entire node network. And if you double click the burn effect,
it's going to take me into. Oh man.
Yeah, you can actually see the actual contents of the burn effect. And if you notice on the Project Explorer, the burn effect is an individual asset that you can share with other people. So if you want to sell your burning effect or your X-ray effect, you can just take that little asset and distribute it, which is pretty awesome.
It's nuts. Oh man.
Like I said, there's really a lot of stuff there, from simple uses to more complex shaders.
I got Shader Forge is now open source after Unity did their graph. The developer of Shader Forge actually streams on Twitch. I discovered. So how did that affect you guys since Shader Forge going open source?
To be honest, not all that much, because I think we have very specific communities. So I think a lot of people still use Shader Forge, and to be honest, we didn't really see an impact in our own community. So I'm not really sure.
There's room enough for different.
Yeah, exactly. I think there's, even for the free alternative now with Unity, I think there's room for everyone.
Man, this is. I need to play with this. I'm just now going around clicking on different examples that you've got in there. I've purchased a few Toon shaders, and they don't work like they're supposed to, or they say they do, and then I have a falling out with the developer for customer support. I'm like, it's not doing what I want it to do. And then I've just loaded up. I just double clicked on this custom Toon lighting too.
Yeah, we actually include a couple of them. Might not seem like it, but doing custom lighting stuff has a few limitations. For example, it's forward rendering, so you might encounter some issues there if you're using deferred stuff. I don't know. But it's quite flexible.
I keep missing chat questions. I always get in trouble. Now, Affix is saying, can you do screen shaders or effects on camera?
Yes, you can. We actually include a couple of screen effects if you want to check them out.
What are they called? Screen space curvature.
Search for Sobol. No, not that one. I think there's okay, I can't quite see the folder. Can you search for Sobol?
How do you spell
or
it?
noise? SOBEL.
Oh, here we go. Found it.
Yeah.
Node template master node is deprecated and was replaced by. Oh, it's gone now.
Oh, don't mind that. It's just a friendly warning. So if you open the demo scene, there's actually an included demo scene with all the examples.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that's a basic example of edge effect.
Hang on, wait. 1, 2, 3. There's hardly any nodes.
Yeah, it's Well, I think this one uses a couple of just one shader function, and that's where the magic's in.
This, like, I, is it supposed to be this easy?
Yeah. I mean, depends on what you want to build, but
I'm really shocked. Like people think like, "What's he going?" I am honestly, my jaw is on the floor because I've always put off doing this kind of stuff because I was really intimidated by it.
mm.
That's,
Well, yeah, it can be really intimidating the first time you open the shader and see 1,000 nodes.
yeah,
And that can be a little bit scary. But also, one thing we try to do, and I think kind of differentiates us from other products, is we try to keep the UI very clean. So when you're building your shaders, there's almost no clutter at all. And I think that really makes a difference. See, this one is a bit more complex, but we actually use something here that allows you to register and get variables. So you don't really need to connect everything. So for example, if you go to the normals box on the side,
yeah.
you'll actually see a node on the right side. And if you select it, it'll show you where it's connected.
They register local var.
Yes. So if you click that and now zoom out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They're all gone green with green outlines on them.
So this way you can know where it's connected.
Oh man.
And it's kind of helps you reduce the usual spaghetti effect you get with nodes.
There's actually written in the comments up. I was just about to get to it about gets messy with spaghetti.
Yeah.
There's also.
You can also.
Sorry, tell me.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say that you can actually double click a line and it creates a control point, so you can adjust your lines.
Hey, close. Okay, too many. So how do I do it? Click on the line.
Yeah. Yeah, so just double click. Oh, it's not working? Oh no.
What did I do?
Oh, is it now working? Oh, that's strange.
There you go.
Oh, there we go. Oh, hold on. That's actually not supposed to happen.
That's what I'm here for, mate. That's what I'm here
Were you
for.
pressing? I'll let the developers
So
know
I'm
on
holding,
Monday.
what do I need to push? Tell me again.
Sorry?
So if I double click it normally, it just does this.
Yeah, it creates a point.
Yeah.
So
If I hold
after
down
the point
Control-
is adjusted. Oh, sorry. I was asking if you had control pressed down, but that's.
So I'm holding control and I'm still getting these.
No. Sorry, that's what you're supposed to get. It's the points,
Okay,
and then
cool.
you can adjust them. Sorry.
There you go.
Yeah, ideally you would just need one because the line would adapt automatically, like a Bezier curve.
No, I like having lots.
Yeah.
There you go. That's what I'm all about. We get this question quite a lot because there's people out there still doing it. Does it work with WebGL?
Yes, it does. The thing with WebGL is that you're dependent on what the browser is capable of doing, and that will vary depending on the platform. So it's not so much an issue with the actual shader. It's an issue with what Unity can actually do in WebGL.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you said that you're not using Discord for development, but are you not using Discord? You got Discord for community members, or you don't have one?
Not at the moment. Since we're very active in the Unity forums, we haven't really had the need to create a Discord channel for now, but we've certainly considered it. But we're very, very active. So if you post a question on our official forum threads, you'll probably get an answer in a couple of hours or even a couple of minutes sometimes when we're actively supporting people.
Hair skin shader templates in Amplify ? I have Amplify editor but do not use it because of the time and learning curve. I use templates though.
Well, The hair and skin shader templates are in the works. I don't want to overpromise, but it's something we get a lot of requests for, and hopefully it's something we can offer soon. We're always on the lookout for stuff to offer. So if you check our samples and templates, you'll see that uh, there's a lot of stuff in there that's actually community requests. So we are hearing you, and as soon as we can, we'll put something up. And as for the learning curve, I think it really depends on what you want to do. I don't know if you had the chance to check our beginners series, but we try to cover basic stuff in the beginning and really ease you into to learning shader development.
I need to see it. I was gonna go to sleep after the stream, but I might stay up and just watch these videos.
Well, I hope they help. And for those who prefer to read, we actually have an official wiki where we try to keep it as updated as possible, and there's a lot of stuff in there. It's at wiki.amplify.pt, or just go to our website and you can load it from there. Oh, that substance sample. Oh, it's a legacy one. Okay, because I don't know if you're aware, but if you want to use substance content now, you need the algorithmic plugin.
That now is the Adobe plugin.
Yeah. But yeah, since we can't have both versions there, we kind of had to package it. That's why that little package there came up.
So hang on a minute. You can use this on terrains?
Yes, you can. That's actually one of my tutorials. I kind of teach you how to use a simple snow coverage in the terrain. Yeah, if you want to load it up, I can probably walk you through the shader if you want.
Which one do I do? The terrain base or the first pass?
I think it's a terrain base. No, it's the cover. Yeah, it's that one. All right. The coverage first pass. Sorry.
Oh, it's big. Yeah, it's much bigger.
Yeah. Oh, this is gonna. Oh, sorry, it's the other one. The other one. Yeah. Yeah, that's the one. So,
People asking, how do I get this? Exclamation mark amplify in chat, I think is the right command, isn't it, my beautiful friends? And we've actually got a copy of this to give away. We are raffling a copy of this and a copy of the Amplify Imposters. Or is it Amplify Shader? The command, hang on.
Amplify Shader Editor and Amplify Imposters.
So I've got Amplify Shader. Yay! Amplify Shader, exclamation mark, Amplify Shader. So I've got a quick link, bit.ly/Amplify Shader, and there's a exclamation mark imposters. Thank you, Sanyo. Got straight in there with the exclamation mark imposters. So these were two of the most requested assets that people asked for me to review.
Awesome. So yeah, if you zoom out on this shader, the terrain shaders are actually a special case. So you have to kind of adapt it to what Unity terrains are expecting. So if you notice those texture samples, that's actually a requirement. Those are your splats. You are familiar with splats splats in terrain? Yeah. So those textures over there are actually your splats. So you would define them there instead of defining them in the terrain inspector. And since you're controlling your terrain shader here, you can add other effects, as we do here with the simple snow coverage, which is actually a very simple effect. All we're doing is using the distance from your camera to the actual surface of the terrain to generate a simple mask that you can actually use to control where the snow appears. So if you want to try it out, maybe open a scene view, and you can actually dock it anywhere. So if you want to take your terrain shader and just dock it anywhere, you can have multiple shaders open, which is something that I find quite useful if you're editing a lot of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you adjust your snow coverage amount on the material inspector,
1 second.
you can actually see the effect in action.
Jesus. I had someone knocking on my door, and I thought it was
Is that
one of
a
my
cat?
kids. Yeah, I thought it was one of my kids had woken up and was knocking on my door, but it was my cat again, who was just outside the door knocking his paw on the door for me to open it. Biscuit, you're not allowed. Okay, sit down and stop being naughty. All right, so he keeps wanting to learn to program. I keep telling him he's not allowed. He doesn't have an opposable thumb. So I'm in got the wrong one because I've got so many. Here we go. Terrain snow coverage first pass. Let me close that one.
So yeah, you can actually just change it in the material inspector on your right.
You what? I can just click on this, can't I? Open in shader editor, and then it would.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
man.
It's the equivalent of double clicking your material. Yeah. So now if you can just adjust it there.
So what do you want me to do? What shall I do?
If you go on the material inspector,
Yep.
on the right side of the screen,
Mm-hmm.
if you adjust the snow coverage amount, you can actually see the snow starting to pop up on the terrain.
Oh.
Hopefully.
Yep. Which node is doing that then?
So, sorry, it's hard to see with the lag, but if you go to the shader editor and press Shift Space.
Yep. Oh, it's gone big.
Did it? Yeah. Sorry, I'm still seeing the small version. It's a bit of a lag there. All right. So if you go to the snow coverage amount node on your right side, there's a box that says simple snow coverage effect.
There we go. I found it. And we've got world normal, a green one, snow coverage amount, snow coverage fall off, add, they come into there, then saturate.
Yeah, so we're basically taking the information we need here, and we end with the register local var show snow mask. If you click the arrow on the register local var node, you'll see the actual preview of the mask that's being sent. I hope. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, so if you adjust the snow coverage amount slider now, you can actually see that that's the mask that's been generated to drive the effect.
How much was this during the Unity sale? Is a question.
I'm not sure actually. I think it was 50% off.
Because this is $60 normal, so that would have been $30.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is great. And you've got the imposters pack as well, which does something completely different, doesn't it?
Yes, absolutely. So, sorry, give me just 1 sec. Oh, sorry, just got some water there. So the Amplify Imposters package is something a bit different. It's more of an optimization tool. Do you have a scene we can show?
Yeah, I mean.
Oh, awesome.
Let me get back out of. Hang on, shift space to get out of it. No, how do I use that?
Shift space, yes.
There we go, back out again.
Yep.
So
you'll notice that most of our shortcuts are just Unity shortcuts. So instead of just trying to make you learn new stuff, we try to stay consistent with the Unity UI.
We appreciate
That's
that.
why you can drag everything around, use the same shortcut keys. It's pretty cool.
So I'm in the tree forest. You've got.
Can you actually open the? Sorry, can you open the other one? It's probably best.
The barrels and boulders, or the custom baking?
The barrels and boulders. This one was more of a instancing example.
Frosted moon I told you, you can buy this or you can win it because we'll be giving away a copy of Amplify Imposter and Amplify Shader Editor. If you're lucky. If you're lucky, you could win a copy of these.
Right. I wish we had more to offer, but yeah.
Yeah, Unity's not very generous.
Yeah. It's a bit tricky. But yeah, so this is one of our latest packages, and it's an optimization tool. So what we really wanted to create here was a one-click solution to optimize your project, meaning that you just add the script and you press bake and your object is optimized. And we do that by creating what it's referred to as imposters, basically. And imposters are camera-facing quads or simplified meshes that represent the original mesh, but are in fact imposters. So in this example here, we're actually showcasing a couple of imposters. And if you go on to your lot group, I don't know, are you familiar with using the lot group? Yeah.
We've got.
So in lot 0, you actually have the mesh. If you click, yeah, that's the imposter, lot 1. And it's actually a simplified mesh. It's just a simple plane. And if you go on to the left and, sorry, on the left on the hierarchy window.
Yeah, you'll get there on the lag.
Sorry.
Sorry,
if you go.
We're gonna say that I have to click these one by one on each one in the lot group, or is it you just do one and it handles everything?
You just need to do one. Actually, you know what? Since we're kind of lagging a bit here, it's going to be hard to show you one by one. But we can create an imposter, and that way we'll see how it works. So if you go onto our models folder on the left, and just drag and drop a barrel into the scene, we can actually create an imposter real quick, and you'll see how it works.
So I'm going to chuck in a barrel.
Yeah. Let's go into the model folder.
Yeah, so I've got a barrel in the project now.
Yeah, just want to... Okay, so that's the actual model. So if you go to Add Component...
Yeah.
Yeah, you can select the imposter's component.
Amplify Imposter. That one? Amplify Imposter. Yep.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just waiting for the stream to update.
Messi sounds like a zombie. Messi sounds like he's confused. What he's about to experience.
You have one option now, which is just to press bake, and the imposter asset is created automatically. So we can probably do that. If you just press bake imposter, it's going to ask you.
Imposter asset field, which is empty because it says none.
Oh yeah, you just click bake.
And now.
And it's going to ask you where you want to save your imposter.
Okay, I'm just going to stick it.
Yeah. No, just click bake, yeah. All right. Yeah, just you can save it there. It's all right.
Yep, we're done. Now
it's baking.
It's got the asset is put in the imposter asset field, and I've got here bake type.
Now
tell me.
Yeah, that's your imposter asset that's been created. So if you now move your model a bit to the right side, you'll see that the imposter is there.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah. So it's a fake representation of your model, but what it does is that it reduces your poly count drastically. So you can have scenes with millions and millions of polygons reduced almost like magic. And if you turn on the wireframe view, you can actually see what's going on.
Hang on. 1 minute.
Yeah.
Hang on. Wait. What about lighting?
It works with lighting, yes.
Oh, where's my wireframe?
It's on a scene shaded view, and you can turn on. Yeah. Oh no, that one. Yeah.
No,
it's a complete fake.
Come on. No.
And if you push back your camera.
Come on.
It's a pretty cool effect, isn't it?
But how does it do with the lighting? It doesn't make sense.
Well, we actually store different views of your assets, and not just the color, of course. We store the normals and we store depth. So through, some shader magic, we can actually take that information and recreate it in a manner that it actually reacts to light. And not just that, you can take your imposter assets and they actually intersect with other objects. So if you want to try it out, you can actually intersect them with the rocks, for example.
No, come on.
Yeah.
Seriously? Ow. What? This has got to be fake. And why can't I pick you up?
Well, they are imposters. So yeah, in a sense, they are fake. And yeah, it's pretty cool. You can rotate them, you can scale them, and they react to lights. So they'll take your probe information. So if you have different lighting conditions, they'll react accordingly. And this is actually just the first iteration of Amplify imposters. We're still in the beta phase. One of the things we're going to offer soon, along with HD and lightweight support, is actually the ability to generate imposters at runtime. And what that is going to allow you to do is actually use it on characters. So if you can imagine like a horde of orcs, for example, with thousands and thousands of polygons, it's going to be extremely lightweight when you're using imposters. Because, well, they're going to be completely fake representations.
This ain't real.
It is very real.
This is some kind of witchcraft. Like there's a shade of witches.
So also one of the things we tried to do is simplify workflow everywhere. So we added an option that allows you to use it with existing lot groups. So what happens is that it's extremely easy to set it up.
Oh no, I'm losing you. I've lost you. No, just as I can't hear you just as you're about to tell us all these cool secret things. Let me call you back on Discord. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I saw videos and pictures of this Amplify imposters, and you guys, we've been talking about it in chats. I'm like, yeah, obviously it's not really gonna do anything, is it? Ignoring that, and then we load it up and like, oh my god, it's witchcraft. Hello.
And we're back.
Yeah, here we go. You got
it
back.
Cool.
Brilliant.
Oh,
so you were telling us, you just said there's this really cool thing, and then that was it, cut off.
Oh, sorry about that. I didn't notice the call went down. So yeah, I was just saying that we try to keep our workflows as simple as possible. So we added a way that you can just take your objects and work with existing lot groups, Unity lot groups, I mean. So have you had a chance to? Sorry, I kind of.
So I'm looking at the rock that's got the zero LOD, which has got your mesh on it, and one which has got. Has one got the imposter on it? So if I.
No, LOD 0 is the actual model, and LOD 1 is the imposter. And one thing you can do if you scroll down, so just so we can go through the couple of options we have there in the Amplify imposter script. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we actually offer you 3 types of imposters. You have the octahedron imposter and octahedron imposter, which it's the one that provides smooth blending between views, meaning that when you rotate around the fake representation, it actually gives you the impression that there's a smooth rotation in the object. The shader is a bit more complex, but nothing most machines can handle. And we do offer a simplified version of the shader, which is the spherical imposter. The spherical imposter holds up much better at close distances. One of the downsides of using octahedron imposter is that it breaks down at very close distances, and imposters by nature are supposed to be seen at a certain distance. But we do give you a couple of options to tweak it. So you have texture resolution, the amount of views you want to bake in axis frames, or even the padding. And I was talking about simplifying workflows, and we actually included a couple of LOD-related options. So if you have an existing LOD group, you can just select your insert mode over there, or even the target index for your existing LOD group. So when you generate the imposter, will automatically be added to your existing LOD group. So if you have an existing LOD group, let's say, of a complex object with several levels, you can just add the script and add your imposter to the existing LOD group without losing any work.
Oh man, because I was saying when I lost you that we were chatting about this ages ago in Discord, and we were talking about, and it was like, yeah, it's obviously not, it's not going to be that much of a difference. And like Gilda was saying, I thought it was more like a billboard generator when you seen it the first time. Like, it's just going to make billboards. It's not going to be anything too fancy, anything too clever.
It's kind of like billboards on steroids.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah, we actually have a comparison image. I don't know if you can see it. I'll share it with you. It's just a small sample of the type of performance gains and draw call reductions you can get when you use imposters.
So there's a couple of important questions.
Yeah, go for it.
All right, so the first one that was a bit earlier, it's one that I was thinking as well. GPU instancer, that asset GPU instancer, and Amplify imposters. Can they work together?
I believe so. There was one feature that was not fully supported, but we've actually been in contact with the developer. So hopefully we'll make it work as best we can. Absolutely.
So in this picture, you've gone from 391 draw calls to 41.
Yes, dramatic reduction.
49 million tries to 86K.
Yeah. As you can imagine, this is quite the reduction, especially if you're using it on something like the Nintendo Switch, for example. We use it extensively on our own game, and it's been a fantastic way to gain some extra frames per second, which is pretty cool.
Sanyo says, I've experienced imposters at Unite with Amplify team.
Oh, awesome.
And I said this is a must, and I'm kicking myself for not buying it while it was on sale. Damn you, card. Sanya, if you were at Unite and you got to play with this and you didn't buy it when it was on sale and you knew that it could do witchcraft, then yeah, you should be kicking yourself. We've been talking to a few people that have had their stuff purchased and not purchased by Unity. Question is, like, because Amplify should have been bought by Unity, all their stuff is amazing. Are you allowed to say if you've ever been in talks? Did they approach you?
I'm not sure. No, but on a more serious note, I think we're more of an independent studio, but we do have an excellent relationship with the Unity folks. Without going into much details, we're very open with them, and they're very open with us. So there's a really healthy relationship there. But I think we're more of an independent group. Not to say that we wouldn't be interested. It's just something that we're not pursuing right now, since we're working on our own tech and our own game. But yeah, they're really great. They've been great to us.
Dude, we run out of time. Let's raffle these off, because you're going to make two incredibly happy people. My word,
and our offer stands. If you want to do another stream with the rest of the developers that couldn't be here today, dude, absolutely, we can set that up.
My face hurts because I'm smiling so much. Mate, thank you so much for
Thank you so
coming in.
much.
Thanks for
And
waiting. Thanks for your patience.
hey, no problem at all. And I would also like to invite you all to visit our game website, decayoflogos.com. We have a development blog where we post updates every Friday. So if you want to track our development, we've been posting for more than 2 years.
Link me on the Discord so I can paste it in chat, please, mate.
Sure, just one sec.
Going to buy it anyway. I'm gonna say, like, this is it's a must purchase. It's one of those things that it's not, you don't often say about an asset, but wow.
Awesome. I'm glad you like it.
Seriously shocked. Like, really
it's
shocked.
It's really strange when you start seeing it working. It's hard to believe it's doing what it appears to be, but yeah, it's pretty real. And hopefully it will get much better with real-time imposters. You're actually going to be able to generate them at runtime, so you can imagine what the type of things you can do with that, not just crowds of people.
Man, when is this? When?
The update is coming, but before we do that, we are going to launch an update very soon with HD and lightweight support, which is something we've been getting a lot of requests for.
Oh man, I need this. Okay, we need to do more videos on this. Okay, we'll catch you later. See you, buddy. Thank you so much.
See you. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Oh my word. I am dumbfounded, really. I thought it was just like some billboard generator thing. Like, Fresh Meat, don't worry, we raffled for you. Hang on, tell him because he can't hear us. We raffled for you, Fresh. You didn't win. Oh man. Well, that was it for another live dev interview. I hope you had fun and enjoyed yourselves. You too can take part if you pop over every Fridays and Saturdays at allthews.twitch.tv/themessycoder, 9 PM GMT time. If you want to know what it is in your time zone, use Google. So don't forget to all of your friends and neighbours. If you do like it, click it. Till next time. If you want to see more of my crazy videos, click on the left side of your screen now. And down below, there's that big juicy subscribe button. And right next to it is the magic bell that if you click it, it will tell you if I've got a new video coming out. Till next time.